Hi there, welcome to our video on climate change. In this video, we would like to raise awareness on a particular issue on climate, and that is resilience, and how it connects us all, and particularly family and smallholder farming. So first things first, let's define what climate change actually means. And for this, we'll need the help of our in-house expert, Dr. Peter Baker, to give us a global and a local perspective. Off we go.
Okay, so there's no doubt that the Earth is warming up. The temperature record is completely certain on that. We talk about 3 to 4 degrees centigrade warming by the end of the century. What is much more interesting is that the warming is being accompanied by increasingly severe weather events, droughts and floods and things like that, that are affecting now a vast number of people, I think. Essentially what we're finding now is that risk levels for farmers are increasing everywhere. So it's becoming more risky to be a farmer. It requires new knowledge and new information.
Now we've seen what the global problems are. What about the local problems of climate change? What does this actually mean for you, and for me, or for Bob in Ohio, or Iqbal in Pakistan, or George in Democratic Republic of Congo? Well, the local level is where change will actually happen. For now, I'm just going to focus on one thing in particular, and that's resilience. Climate change resilience. Policies, Conference of the Parties at the UN, Kyoto Protocols, all these are incredibly important. But it's the individual and at the household level where climate change will be most felt. Especially in the countries which are still catching up economically. The ones with millions or billions of families who depend on the regularity and continuity of the seasons to earn a living and feed their families. Here are some quick figures for you. Today, there are over 500 million smallholder farmers across the world. For example, in Africa, over 80% of the workforce works in agriculture, the majority of whom are women. These farmers feed over 2 billion people on this planet. They are incredibly important. I'm just going to focus on one of the important issues, and that is resilience. What is resilience? Resilience is a capacity to adapt to an ever-changing climate. For smallholder farmers, the changing climate will hit them hard. The effects of climate change can include drought, flooding, don't allow for steady growing seasons, and the harvesting periods will be different. Because of this, we'll see a lot of change in our daily diets and nutrition, irregular food prices, and a lack of access to water, amongst many other problems. Well, as your parents most likely told you, and I know mine did, improvement starts at home. Do your bit. Just think about how you can make your lifestyle more resilient to change, and help reduce the strain we are placing on our natural resources. This can mean taking a bus instead of a car, cycling or walking instead of taking the bus. You can try to buy locally sourced food. You can even grow your own food. All you need is a small plot of land. It can be your garden, it can be your terrace, or it can be that unused field. Look at this. Here we are growing our own food in this small garden behind our office. For the more committed of you, look at this thing. We're in the process of installing a polytunnel to start growing our own food. We're just starting, but this is what it'll look like, hopefully. So, this is at home, but what about on a global scale? What about in other countries? What can we do then? I've been working for 5 years in developing agriculture around the world. In Pakistan, Democratic Republic of Congo, Rwanda, Afghanistan. And it is my belief that the biggest problem in agriculture today is the lack of information translated into the lack of knowledge to smallholder agriculture. The information on pests and diseases, access to markets, and food prices is there. We need to use this information. I've witnessed many different types of agricultural information networks at play. Local radio announcements for farmers in Nepal. Public plant health campaigns for a new variety of corn. Running plant clinics for crop problems that farmers have in Pakistan, DRC, Afghanistan. So, in one sentence, let us develop an information sharing pathway. Working together, sharing information. The next step is up to you.